Hey y'all, what's good, what's poppin'? So for today's video, I'm inspired to try out this technique I saw. I don't know if y'all watched Tati, and I don't know if y'all seen the video on her channel where she had her makeup done by J-Lo's makeup artist. But girl, when I saw that video was published, I clicked that thing right away because let me tell you, J-Lo is goals. Like, she's always looking snatched. She is skin goals. Homegirl posted a picture looking like this at 49, bare skin, no makeup. Like, this is legit skin goals, and when she has a full face, you know she's beat for the gods. When I saw that Tati did a video with J-Lo's makeup artist, you know, I watched the whole thing and I picked up some of the techniques. You know, I was writing down my notes, and one of the things that really struck me in that video was that he did the contour under the foundation, and I was really struck by how that gave such like a nice, beautiful skin-like finish. So for today's video, I kind of just want to recreate that, try out that technique, and see how it works, if it works at all. But before we get into it, I just want to say thank you for all my new subscribers out there. Thank you for clicking the subscribe button and for being here. If you haven't already, just go ahead and click that subscribe button and click the bell button as well so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. And with that, let's get into the video. So before I apply any contour product or any foundation or anything like that, I do just want to have a nice base to work with so the product can grip and stick onto my skin. So I'm just going to go in with my Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer and just go ahead and prime my face with that. So now that the whole face is primed, I'm gonna go ahead and go in with my contour products and start sculpting out my face. So I'm gonna be using cream products because cream products blend in easier than powder products. For me personally, they just give a more skin-like finish as opposed to a powder product. So today I'm gonna be sticking with cream products since the whole point of this technique is I wanted to have a more skin-like finish and look more natural as opposed to like a harsh contour. I want to see if this is something more like an everyday wear type look. So for the first product that I'm going to contour with, I'm going to go in with this NYX Wonderstick, and this is in the shade medium. I did have the shade universal and I considered using that, but I wanted to use the highlighter shade, and the highlighting shade on the universal is kind of a dewy finish versus this is more of a matte finish. So I wanted to use this because, I don't know, I feel like that would work better for the contour. But I'm looking now. Honestly, in my opinion, NYX sometimes gives themselves a little bit too much credit with their shade range names. They call this medium, but this is pretty light, and it's also pulling really cool tone on me. This is almost pinkish, but I'm only layering this under the foundation, so I'm not gonna come for the color. Hopefully the foundation will fix that, you know? So that's all the areas I'm gonna highlight. Gonna keep it nice and simple with that. And then I'm gonna go with the other side, and I'm gonna do my first like base layer of contour. So I'm just gonna contour all the places you would normally contour. Now in the video, J-Lo's makeup artist did go a little crazy with the contour, which was kind of compensated for by the fact that he layered a foundation on top. So I'm gonna go in a little bit crazy up front, but hopefully the foundation is gonna fix that. Okay, so that is what the base layer of contour is looking like. As you can see, we contoured the nose, we got the cheekbones in there, got our forehead, and then we got the highlight going on in the under eye area as well as down the bridge of the nose and the forehead. If I was gonna place this over foundation, I might just go ahead with that because on top of a foundation, this would have more dimension, but because I'm gonna buff a foundation and on top of this, I wanna go in with just a couple different products to add a little bit more definition because I feel like this might just disappear under the foundation. So I'm gonna strengthen the contour under my cheekbones and along the sides of my nose with my Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick. And this is in the shade Fawn, which is one of their contour colors. So I'm just gonna hit right up at the very top of the cheekbone with that, just because I want to have like the strongest part of the contour right there. And I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but as you can see, this is a much cooler brown color as opposed to the contour stick, which as you can see is pulling sort of reddish. Take just a tiny bit down the side of the nose as well. Okay, so hopefully that will strengthen the contour a little bit and just make sure that it doesn't disappear under the foundation because I have a feeling it might do that. And then for my forehead, it's already looking okay. I don't feel like I need to contour my forehead per se, like I don't need to tone it down, but I do want to add just a little more definition. So I'm going to take this Milk Makeup matte bronzer and I'm going to just go ahead and just swipe some of that up there as well, just to add a little bit more warmth. And hopefully the combination of the cool tones going on the cheekbones and the nose versus the warmer tones on the foreheads will add some definition. So I'm gonna go ahead and start buffing everything out. I'm gonna take this Real Technique sculpting brush and start sculpting out the cheekbones. And with this, I wanna sculpt up so I give a lifted effect. As you can see, it's a pretty strong contour, but we're gonna layer foundation on top. So hopefully that'll kind of tone down just a little bit. And then for the areas that I place the highlight shade on, I'm gonna go ahead and take a damp beauty blender and buff that in. I'm gonna use a beauty blender for this because I feel like the shade's kind of light and I want the beauty blender to pick up some of the product. So here's what the contour layer looks like. So all we have on right now is primer and contour. I don't have on any foundation or anything like that. The lines might still look a little harsh. They might not look too blended, but I'm hoping when I lay the foundation on top, it's not gonna be too big of an issue because not that the lines that JLo's makeup artist I did were harsh, but they were just kind of like a little drastic compared to Tati's skin, if that makes sense. When he layered the foundation on top, it all kind of came together. So I'm kind of hoping I get the same sort of effect, but we'll see. So then for my foundation, I'm gonna use this NYX Total Control Drops Foundation just because what I love about this is that it's a completely customizable coverage. You can go from as sheer of a coverage as you want to as full of a coverage as you want just by adding some drops. So I'm just gonna do a couple drops at a time on a Real Techniques Expert Face Brush just to add a little bit of coverage to the skin, but I don't want to, you know, completely cover everything up. I want to build it up slowly until I get the desired coverage I want. And I'm gonna go ahead and buff this in. I'm not gonna swipe it on my skin because I don't want to disrupt the product underneath. So let's see how this works. As you can see, I'm really taking my time to just buff this in. I don't want to sweep this on at all. Okay, so that is everything buffed in with the layer foundation. I don't know if it's just the finish of this foundation or the fact that I used all cream products, but everything is looking super dewy right now. As for the contour, so as you can see, I still have like color going on around the perimeter of my face, but it's definitely not like a super harsh contour, obviously. You know, you can't see any harsh lines or anything, but I do have definition still going on. I feel like the foundation applied just a little bit heavier on this side, so I don't know if you can see there's slightly more definition on this side than the side, in my opinion, but there's still some definition going on both sides, but it's definitely not like a super harsh contour. This would be more for like an everyday wear, you know, when you want everything to look nice and snatched, but you don't want it to be obvious that you're wearing makeup, or you don't want a harsh line when you do your makeup. I do want to set everything though, so I'm going to take my Cali contour kit and take the contour shade from that and just set the cheeks with that a little bit, just ever so slightly. I'm kind of just going to tap it on. I'm not even going to buff it in. Then I'm gonna sweep some bronzer on the forehead just to keep with the consistency and warm that up a little bit. And then taking this e.l.f. small tapered brush, I'm just gonna gather some of the banana powder shade and just go ahead and set the under eye area with that. And as well, with that same shade, just run a tiny bit down the bridge of the nose and buff some right into the forehead as well for some highlight. And then with the smallest amount, just kind of strengthen the contour on the sides of the nose as well. Let me go ahead and conceal these spots as well because they look a little crazy. I'm just taking my e.l.f. Camo Concealer in medium beige and just taking a little bit to cover up some of these breakouts I have. And then buffing them out with a concealer brush. And then lastly, because we set everything and now my face is mattified, I do want to add some highlight back. I'm just going to go ahead and take my Becca highlighter, and this is in the shade Opal. I'm going to go ahead and apply that with a Real Techniques setting brush because it's a nice tapered brush head. One trick I like to do to get a really precise highlight is I like to pinch my brush and then apply it on the area that I want to apply the highlight like that. And as you can see, it gives you a nice super precise line to work with to blend out. I'm just going to run a tiny bit down the bridge of the nose. And I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of the nose tip highlight. I feel like that gets a lot of hate. It's more just like in the shape of your nose, you know what I mean? I feel like I personally have a nose that it looks good on. So I'm gonna do it, but I'm not gonna add any extra highlight. I'm just gonna take whatever's left on the brush and just sweep it right on the tip of the nose. So this is the final look. As y'all can see, very natural, but like very subdued contour, you know? And now that I just went ahead and set that with a powder contour, as you can see, it looks a little crazy because I didn't really wanna like bother to blend it up into my hairline, but if you ignore that, as you can see, it just looks like a nice, approachable, you know, contour. It's nice and photogenic from all angles with powder, with a powder bronzer and contour. We didn't use that as the main contour and bronzing product, so it's not gonna look too powdery. It's not gonna look like you have any product really sitting on your face. It's gonna photograph well from a bunch of different angles. So I really love that technique. You could just end it off at the cream contour for a daytime look, or you could do what I did and go ahead and set everything with the powder contour and bronzer to step step it up to the next level for a nighttime look, or if you want a more drastic contour, I'm just gonna set my brows because I feel like I just feel naked without my brows done. But I don't feel like doing them, you know what I'm saying? Alright, well that's my finished look. If y'all want to call it that, you know, nice and simple and natural. I could have gone in a little harder with some concealer, could have done a little something with the eye, but you know, I just really wanted to focus on the skin, contouring, snatching everything up, and seeing how this technique worked. And honestly, I think it worked well. And with that being said, that is the end of this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Let me know if y'all want to try this technique. If you do, let me know how it turns out. Well, I was just really intrigued by, you know, how JLo's makeup artist did this, and since I saw him do that video with Tati, I was just obsessed with this technique. Like, I was losing sleep over it, and I was just like, I have to try it. So I finally sat down and tried it on camera, and it turned out beautifully, for sure. So if you like this video, don't forget to give this video a like. If you haven't already as well, don't forget to subscribe and go ahead and click the bell button so you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Leave a comment below letting me know what you liked about this video, what you disliked. If you want me to do a certain type of video in the future, you know, you want me to do like story times, you want me to try a certain makeup look, you want me to test out certain products, just leave a comment below letting me know what type of videos you want me to make in the future, and I'll get around to making them. And I'll be back with a new video shortly. Bye.